beautiful day in Egypt. A pharaoh named Atem was waiting for his queen to come to his palace because he had a surprise for her. And he waited and waited in the courtyard. And he said, "I wonder what's taking her so long." "Blaze," he said, patting his pet horse. And the horse went, "Nay, nay, nay." And then eventually, Princess Kimmy went to his palace and she said, "What's the surprise, my love?"
"Well, Kimmy, we've been friends for a very, very long time, since I was a little boy."
"Yes, of course. Why?"
"Well, I was wondering, I would like to take this friendship further than it is. And I was wondering, Princess Kimmy, would you be my queen and take the throne with me?"
"Of course I will, Atem. Of course I will marry you, my sweet love."
"Really? You really mean it?"
"Of course. You're my love and my pride and joy." I do, Atem, I do. I love you."
"I love you too, Kimmy," he said, slipping a golden ring onto her finger. And he slowly kissed her hand and said, "I love you, my queen, my soon-to-be bride. I love you so much." And then eventually days passed, and it was the day of the wedding. And Atem was so worried and nervous that he paced the floor back and forth. And his father came into his room and said, "Son, calm down, please. But what if she doesn't like me? What if she changes her mind? What if... Son, calm down. You're so worried about nothing. You're going to be fine. But what if I'm not a good father when she's pregnant?" "Shh, my son, it's all right," he said, lifting his son up onto his lap. And he said, "Oh, you're heavy. But don't worry. You'll always be Daddy's boy. Now go out there and be the strongest pharaoh I know you are."
"Okay, Daddy."
"That's my boy." And then the wedding bell started, and Atem waited and fixed his tie and said, "Oh, I wonder when she's coming." And then his beautiful bride came out with a beautiful golden gown and beautiful earrings on her ears. And she walked over to him and said, "Hey, my love." And then the priest said, "Atem the pharaoh, do you take the beautiful queen to be your queen?" "I do." "And Princess Kimmy, do you take Pharaoh Atem to be your husband and as long as you live?"
"I do."
"Okay, you may kiss the bride," she said, placing a gentle kiss on his lips. And Atem hugged her tight and said, "Kimmy, we're together forever," he said, wrapping his cape around her as they exited the large palace. And they sat down by the Nile River. And Atem pushed her in and said, "Hey, wait for me." And they both swam together holding hands. And they got splashed with water. And Atem said, "Phew!" And she said, "Bless you, my king." "Thank you." And then later that night, Atem and Kimmy went to their new palace across Egypt, and their palace was right close to the Nile River. And they would sit down together on the porch and watch the sunset, holding hands. And eventually, one day, Atem said, "Kimmy, are you pregnant?"
"Yes, Atem, you're gonna be a father."
"Holy Mother of Ra! Oh my gosh!" And then eventually, days passed, months passed. Eventually, the baby boy was born with beautiful spiky hair, and he had his father's eyes and his mother's smile. And the baby looked up at Daddy and said, "We shall name you Prince Atem Jr." And eventually the family grew into a beautiful family. And the father fell asleep on his throne, and the mother fell asleep next to him, and the little baby fell asleep in his crib. And Atem had his arms around his new wife, and he said, "I love you, my princess, my queen, and I love you, my king." The end.